very well. To do something well. It's not just doing something, it's doing it well. Such that people see the things you do and they be like, wow, I like this thing you did. Can you do for me? That is a skill. Now, where can you learn a skill? Like, how do you come about these things? Now, skills can be learned in school, they can be learned at home, they can be learned in the church. You can learn a skill wherever you are. Now, when I say learned at home, like I have a younger sister, like she knows how to cook very well. She cooks anything, nkwobi, fresh fish, pepper soup, vegetable soup. She does everything. Now, because she knows how to do it very well, you can say she is skilled at cooking. It's a skill. I have a cousin that knows how to keep the house clean. She sweeps the house morning, afternoon, night. Nothing is out of place in her room. Now you can say she's skilled at keeping a place very organized. Some of you will call it wife material, 100 years, whatever. But she is skilled at organizing. Now, somebody like that can decide to go into house cleaning, can decide to go into interior designing. That is where you talk about transforming your skill into a marketable product. We'll get there definitely. So that is just what a skill is. Knowing how to do something very well. It's a skill. People that sing in church and then you be like, this girl knows how to sing very well. And before you know what is happening, she's going into music full time. She's skilled in singing. Okay, skills are learned through experience, just like I said. Through experience, as you grow up in the family, your job is to be washing plates every day, so you can say you are skilled at washing plates. Your job is to cook for the house. My younger sister knows how to wash clothes a lot. Now that girl can come out and be like, I want to open a laundromat. She can decide to open a laundry house where she does laundry because she's good at washing clothes. Yes, something as simple as that, and then you make a lot of money out of it. It's that simple. Okay, so some people ask, what kind of skills can I acquire? Some people will be like, are skills gender specific? Are there skills that are particular to female? And then are there skills that are particular to male? But then the answer to that question is no. Skills are not gender particular. Like you can acquire any skill, especially in this current generation. Yes, you can acquire any skill. I've seen male makeup artists, yeah, and they even make it more than the female counterparts in the makeup business, if you ask me, because we women, we like the touch of male. When they say he's a makeup artist, we would rather patronize the male artists. The male makeup artists, we all know that's true. Okay, now what kind of skills can I acquire? There are 1,000,001 skills that you can acquire in this current age. As an undergraduate or even a graduate, the best thing you can do for yourself right now is to acquire a skill. That's the best thing you can do for yourself, because if you say, I am reading law, I'm reading engineering, and I can't come out and then start doing shoemaking, bag making. Hello, I'm a graduate engineer, and then I'm making my money from fashion design. The country does not provide any platform for you to give you work after graduation. Sorry, so you have to make a way for yourself. Now, amongst the skills I'm going to be listing for you that you can acquire as a youth, as an undergraduate, or even a graduate. Number one, fashion design. Of course, I'm a fashion designer, and I will tell you that it's one of the best decisions I ever made as a fashion designer. The thing is, fashion design, it's a growing market. You are in Africa, we are in Nigeria. Nigeria likes to party. There is no week that goes by that there is no birthday, burial, or marriage to attend, dinner night, party everywhere. So in Nigeria, fashion and design business is something that never dies. It just keeps on growing and growing and growing. Now imagine you have like 5 clients at the least 5 clients, and each of them they patronize you like twice in a month. Now that is to say you're offering services, you're sewing 10 clothes a month. Now imagine you're charging 5,000 per cloth you're making. 5,000 per cloth you're making times 10. How many you're making? 50,000 naira per month. You are not using fuel if you're using manual machine. I love manual machine. I'm not the industrial machine type. I love manual machine. You're not buying fuel. The only thing you're buying is thread zip. So fashion design business is just beautiful. Okay, another one you can go into is the makeup business. Yes, it's not gender specific. Men do makeup, women, even now our men wear makeup. Yes, you all can attest to the fact our men wear makeup. So makeup, pedicure, manicure, facials, the spa business. Yes, you can learn that and you will do it, because people these days they like to pamper themselves. They like to go out and they want to show off. So if you tell them I'm a makeup artist, per session you can collect up to 5K at the least. 5,000 naira at least. So imagine you're in a place where they have a party every weekend, and you're able to cater to like 5 people, all of them paying 5K at least. I'm giving you the least price, 5K at least. Imagine how much you're making in one Saturday. You're in your house and you're using your powder and your brush sticks to make money. Hello. Okay, another skill you can learn is hairdressing, barbing, cutting of hair. Now this hair I made, the girl came to my house and she made this hair for me, and she took 5,000 naira cash as workman. 5,000 naira cash. Nothing out of it. Now, in one standing, she just came and collected 5,000 naira. She will pay her tithe, of course. And then the rest of the money is hers. 5,000 naira. Now, another kind of skill you can acquire is photography. Yes, photography. These days, people like to keep memories. They like to store memories. These days, everybody that is having a birthday wants to do a birthday shoot. And then you see some photographers will tell you one outfit, 3 pictures from one outfit, 5,000 naira least. You go there, you just pose. They'll just take you 3 snapshots. Like they'll take you plenty snapshots, and then they'll just choose 3 out of it. And those 3 is costing you 5,000 naira. Now imagine you have 3 outfits so that is 555. That is 15,000 naira from just your head. Imagine how many people are celebrating birthdays that week. So yes, photography is something you can learn. It's quite expensive, but it's something you can learn. Baking, yeah, baking. People that do cake, people that do peanuts, samosa, sausage rolls. Yes, that's part of the things you can actually learn. And then you can start small. You cater to your friend's birthday, you cater to your mommy's birthday, and when people taste your stuff and it's good enough, they'll be like, who made this? And before you know what is happening, you're having contracts to go outside to deliver. And before you know what is happening, you're catering to 2,000 people, you're catering to 300, 500 people. At the end of the day, they are paying for it. The only thing you're providing is the skill. You're providing the skill. You're not paying for anything. You take from there, you pay your transport. So that. And then shoemaking. Shoe and bag making. Yeah, I have a course mate. You can check him up on Instagram. Dominique Footwears. Yes, he was my classmate before we graduated. Now he started small, but if you go to his Instagram page right now, you see how many followers he has. You see his products. His products are top notch, first class products that can compete in any market. So these are the things you can learn. Like I was saying, laundry business, laundry. That one does not take too much to learn. It's just washing clothes, ironing, and then learning how to package. That's just it. It's something you can just learn and then start doing it. You put up a shop, and before you know what is happening, you charge how much per shirt. Imagine how many people you are washing clothes for, and then imagine the inflow of money, and then you have more advantage if you stay in a place that has a steady supply of electricity. So these are small skills here and there that you can learn. Okay, someone will say, how can I learn? How can I acquire these skills? And the thing is, some of us are not patient enough. Acquiring a skill takes time, takes patience, commitment, and consistency. Yes, you have to be very consistent. You have to be patient with the system. It's not something you go there and today you feel that you should have been able to accomplish what someone has been there for 6 months has accomplished. No, it takes time. Now there are steps. Write down these steps. It will really help you. It will really help you to keep at it. To help you. Now, steps to acquiring a skill. Number one, choose a skill. A lot of us are very confused. What should I do? What am I good at? And some people will be like, what are your interests? What are you passionate about? And then somebody like me, I was not passionate about tailoring. So people that have the problem of not being passionate about something, yes, you are in my shoes right now. I was not passionate about tailoring. But then when you are in that stage, what you ask yourself is, what is trending? What is selling? You go online, you go on Instagram and you check the things that people patronize. So I went online and I was like, okay, fashion is something because I believe I can learn anything. Yes, you can learn anything. Anybody can learn anything. I wasn't passionate about tailoring. I was not passionate about fashion design. My own was that I was desperate because I was in my final year and there was nothing I know how to do. The engineering I did, yes, I can do hardware, but the software part is where the money is. But my brain just could not accept it. Like I did not. Anyway, that aside. So I needed something to sustain me after graduating. I could not go back to my parents' house after 6 years of school fees. So I was thinking, what can I do to earn money for myself? And then I thought fashion, okay, it's something I can learn. So the first thing you do is to pick a skill. Don't say, I want to learn fashion, baking, barbing. You get confused. So you now dedicate 1 week to fashion, dedicate another week to baking. It doesn't work like that. You have to look for something and give it your best. So the first thing to do is to pick a skill that you want to learn, something that you're passionate about, something that you feel you can learn. If you're not passionate about it, something that is trending, something that is currently paying. Okay, number two, after you've chosen a skill, number two, make time to learn. Yes, make time to learn it. You don't just happen to it. You have to be intentional about it. Like you have to give it time. You have to tell yourself, Monday to Friday, I'm going to the workshop and I'm going to learn this thing. You don't just wake up on Monday morning and be like, today is Monday. Or Tuesday, I will go to the workshop. The next day, Tuesday, you'll be like, okay, let's leave it till 12 o'clock. By 12 o'clock today, I should be at the workshop. No, you don't do that. You give it a time and then you make sure you adhere. You be very strict about it. you be very serious about it. So make time to learn it. Be deliberate about it. Now, the next thing, learn the basics. Learn the fundamentals. Now, you don't jump into it. I always use fashion as a point of description. Now, you don't just jump into it and then you want to make, like in fashion design, there are the newest trends is beading, stoning, corset making, and all those new trends in fashion. Now, people that want to learn, you don't just come into fashion design and say you want to start making corsets immediately. No, it doesn't happen like that. You have to start small. You have to start from the smallest bit. The smallest bit. Now, the smallest bit in fashion designing is making of skirts. Basic skirts, long skirts, short skirts. Simple thing, the simplest thing. Then you now enter the making of top. Before you now start talking about making of trouser, making of mermaid skirts, making of corsets. So I'm just using fashion designing to describe to you what I mean by basics. In cutting of hair, start small. You don't start and then you want to make all those professional lines they make on hair on hair. You don't do that. You have to start small. If you're making hair, like you're weaving hair, you have to start from all back. Yes, before you know how to do Ghana weaving. So you have to start small. Okay, number 4, choose your tools. Yes, choose your tools. What are the things you work with? When I was learning, I used YouTube a lot. Yes, I used YouTube a lot. At some point, I downloaded fashion books and I learned some kind of stitches, some stitch making, some sewing patterns. So pick your tools. What are the things you need to help you grow? What are the things you need to help you master? Because you know there are sometimes you go and learn and then you don't understand what they did. So when you come to the house, you ask yourself, am I just going to stay confused? No, you have to help yourself. So you go on the internet, you use YouTube, you download books, you watch tutorials. Yes, those are your tools. Use them, they are available. People underrate YouTube a lot. There is a lot of things you can learn. There are a lot of things you can learn on YouTube. Don't underrate it. Number 5, create a curriculum. Yes, I teach fashion design. I have students and I teach them. I have a curriculum I follow. So you need to have a curriculum. After doing this, this is the next thing. After doing this, this is the next thing. After doing, you just need to have a step-by-step curriculum, like things that you have to follow, things that you have to learn before another set of things. So you need a curriculum. Number 6, set specific goals. Set specific goals. You need to tell yourself, by the end of this week, I should have finished learning how to make a skirt. By the end of this month, I should have been able to know how to make a full dress. Set goals for yourself and make sure you follow them. Because if you don't, you just be learning. You just be learning at the pace of your teacher. It's good to be ahead of your teacher. You should try to do that. Be ahead of your teacher such that when the teacher is teaching something that is new to every other person, it's not new to you. Set a pace and follow it. Set deadlines. Set deadlines for yourself. Be accountable. Yes, be accountable. Set deadlines. Like that, that's the same thing as it. Set your specific goals. Now, practice. Yes, practice the skills that you've learned. People that cut hair, yes, look for your friends. Tell them, I know how to cut hair. Practice on them. They are your friends. Yes, use them as you're starting. If you bake, you can just get small money, get flour and whatever you need to bake a cake and invite them to eat, and then hear what they are saying. Get feedback. That is the last point. Get feedback from them. After you've given them to test your product, Get feedback and be like, how was it? Do you think it's too is it too dry? Is it too wet? Is it too however you describe the cake stuff? If it's a dress that you're making, is it too tight? Do you like the fitting on your body? Always make sure you get feedback for whatever you do. Okay, now some people ask, okay, now that I've acquired the skill, how do I turn it into money? This is where you need to be very, very attentive. How do I turn it into money? How do I turn it into a marketable product? Number one, improve yourself. Make sure you are fully improved. Improve yourself. Nobody wants to hear excuses about the mess you made with their outfits, with their party food, with their hair. Nobody wants to hear it. So make sure you improve yourself. 100% improve. Hard work. Make sure you work on yourself. Number two, advertise. Talk about it. Advertise. Don't keep quiet about it. When I learned how to sew during the COVID period. Yes, during the COVID period, I was in my final year. And then the COVID sent us home. And then during that COVID period, I learned tailoring June, July, August, September. June, July, August, September. I learned tailoring. Somebody's mic is on. Please put it off. Thank you. All right. So I learned tailoring June, July, August. Sorry, June, July, August, September, I think. So when I came to school January, we were to finish our finals January 2021. Yes, merely after the COVID of 2020. I made clothes for myself and then I wore them to class and I never keep quiet about it. Everybody, every of my classmates knew me then. Anytime I come out, I'll be like, RL Designs made this. RL Designs made this. I made a lot of noise. I made a lot of noise. So how do you take your product to the market? Do not keep quiet. Always tell people, this is what I do. I can do it for you. And just give me a trial, you know. You make friends and tell them what you do. Tell them to try your hand. And that is just it. You have to advertise yourself. And then another way, the internet can help you do that. Social media, your WhatsApp status. How many friends do you have on WhatsApp? You can make a dress, put it on a friend, put it on your status, and be like, I made this. And then you see people be like, wow, you made this. Okay, I have a party coming on this weekend and I would like you to make something like this for me. Before you know what is happening, you have one client. Now that client wears your product to the party. And then she gets there, other people see her and they be like, wow, your dress is looking so fine. Who made for you? And they'll be like, my friend, give me your friend's contact. So it grows exponentially. People, you serve food at a party, people test it and be like, who made this? They will call you, she's the person that made it. Before you know what is happening, you have a contract to cater to like 3 events and you're making your money already. So how do you put your skill in the market? How do you make money out of it? You advertise. Social media is there. Like me now, yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, RL_fashion_design. You follow me on TikTok, RL Designs 101. Follow me on Facebook, Wanzechioma Ruby. So I advertise on all the platforms I can find. I don't keep quiet about what I do. Because if you keep quiet, nobody knows you. Unless you're going to pay for, adverts and then you pay for people to. But the cheapest way as a startup that you don't have money to pay for any of those kind of adverts, you do it yourself. On every platform, you can send to your friends and tell them to help you repost. Yeah, I've reposted 1,000,001 things. I don't even know what they do, but I see people that want to start something for themselves. So I repost anyway because they need it. How do you transfer these things into money? Number 3, try to teach people what you do. It's a way of putting yourself out there. It's a way of telling the world what you do. I think it was May, was it no, February 2022. February 2022, I made a flyer and I was saying, I think Unizik was on strike, ASU was on strike February 2022. That was that 8 month strike that lasted. So I put it on my on my WhatsApp, and I advertised, and I said, okay, um, do not waste this strike. Learn a skill, make yourself useful. RL Designs is offering to train people in fashion design. And before you know what was happening, I got one student. But by the end of the strike, February, March, February, March, April, May, June, July, I had 11 students. 11 students. Some of them 6 months, some of them 9 months. And before you know what was happening, 50K, 60K, 70K was coming from each person. Yes, was coming from each person. So advertising is there, and then teaching people what you do makes your business more authentic. You understand it? So you must have improved yourself before you can teach someone. So in teaching people, you are putting your business out there, and then before you know what is happening, your students are bringing in customers for you, because now you're answering madam. And then your students go outside and then they see their friends in lack, in need of what you provide. And they be like, my madam, they saw this thing. No. And before you know what is happening, you have a client from your students. You get the wisdom behind that. So you teach people what you do. You invite them, come and take classes. I do makeup. One of my friends upstairs, she came and she was like, she's a makeup artist, and then she wanted to learn how to sew. So I taught her how to sew. And before you know what was happening, she went home, made a flyer of her own, and said, come for makeup classes. And before you know what was happening, she had 2 students. 2 students. Now these people will go outside and be like, I have where I'm learning work. My madam is a makeup artist. Before you know what is happening, people are coming to her as the madam to do their makeup. So yes. Okay, next on our list, does location affect my business? Yes, it does. Your location affects your business. Now, if you are a tailor and then you decide to open up your business in a village, decide to open up your business in a village, you have a lot of challenges, especially if you're this new generation kind of tailor, touche things. Like now, I'm a copper currently serving, but then they posted me to Oji River. They posted me to Oji River in Enugu State. The place is a village. People there don't wear trendy clothes, and I know that if I stay there and practice, my fashion business will die a natural death. So yes, your location affects your business. People that sew in Oka do not charge the same way as people that sew in Lagos. There are people that sew in Lagos that you know you can do much better than them, but you can't charge higher because of the restriction of your location. Yes, there are people that sew in Lagos that they charge you 50K per cloth. That cloth in Oka, you cannot charge it more than 10K. You cannot charge it more than 10,000 naira. The makeup, the same thing. Everything like that. So your location, yes, affects your business. It affects the way you charge. It does. Now, skills needed to manage as a startup. The skills you need to manage your business. Yes. Number one, you need people skills. Yes. People skills. You need to understand people. You need to understand, you need to be able to interpret their emotions. Now, there are some people that come to my place to fit their outfit, to fit their dresses. And then when you look at their faces, you know, without them having to say anything, you know if they are happy with what you've done or if they are not happy. So for a startup, you need people skills. You need to be able to interpret their emotions. You need to be able to guess what is it. Some people, they just come to my house and they be like, I want to make a dress, but I don't have an idea. Can you send me a picture? You need to look at them, look at the way they dressed to your house before you make certain suggestions to them. There are some people that are not, they don't mind the kind of clothes they wear, like they put themselves out there. And then there are some people that are very conservative. So you know how to interpret people. So you need to have people skills. You need to learn how to read people, read books on psychology, and know how to interpret the way people respond to you. It will really help. Another skill you need as a startup, you need marketing skills. Like I said earlier, when I started sewing, when I came to school, I never kept quiet about my skills. I never kept quiet about the fact that I know how to make outfits. I never kept quiet about it. So you need to know how to market your product. That time I was sewing for myself. I made a lot of clothes for myself, and I will wear it to class and I'll be like, I made this just yesterday. I made this just this morning. You need to be able to market. You need to be able to appeal to your customers. Like you need to be able to get on their good side, be their friends. You need to learn how to smile more. You know, go frown face and then you expect people to, you need to be approachable. Yes, you need to be very, very approachable. You need to laugh more. Yes, you need to laugh more. You need to make friends. Yes, market your product. A skill you need. Now, social skills. Yes, as a startup, you need social skills. You cannot stay in your house Sunday to Saturday back to back and then expect people to come and look for you in your house to patronize you. It doesn't work like that. You have to go out there. You have to meet people. You have to leave your comfort zone. You'll be like, I'm not the outgoing type. Hello, you're not ready to make it in Nigeria. In Nigeria, everything happens outside. When you call people, they'll be like, I'm outside. Yes, they are looking for money. They know why they're outside. So you need to go outside, make connections, talk to people. Social skills. You need to be a socialite in a sense. You need to be a socialite. Go out and talk to people. Go out, meet people, tell them what you do. Advertise yourself by yourself. Okay, now we're almost closing. Risks to anticipate. Yes, the risks to anticipate as a startup. Now this one, okay, when I started, I lost money. I lost money because there are some outfits I made. And then when I finished making these outfits, I looked at them and I knew in my mind, I knew in my heart that this thing is not fine. This is not the picture that was given to me. And then I made sure that I went to the market again, bought fabrics again, and remade the outfit. Now, the risks you take as a startup is that you need to be able to accommodate, accommodate your mistakes, correct your mistakes. Don't be like, I baked puff puff, and you tested it and you know that it was too salty, yet you delivered it. Now, when the people in the party eat this puff puff and they be like, who did this now? What kind of nonsense? At the end of the day, they will not refer you. They will bring down your business. These are things that happen to you. So the things you need to do as a startup, you are going to lose, but then you gain later on. You gain later on because they know you to deliver top notch. They know you to deliver 100%. So you need to be able to correct your mistakes, even if it will cost you your profit. Yes. it will cost you your profit now because they paid for material, they paid for workman. Now I've used the material money to buy material, but then I messed it up. So I'm going to take from my profit to buy another material and make and correct my mistake. Yes, it's a risk that you must take because you have to satisfy the customer and you have to keep them coming back. Not coming back empty handed, they have to come with friends, they have to refer you. Yes, so you have to make sure you deliver 100%. All right, now the last but not the least, when do I start employing workers? When you have established all these things, now you have others coming here and there. You have people that want to make traditional wedding outfits. The ashebi is coming with the bride because the bride has told them that I have a tailor that delivers 100%. So all the ashebi, like you now have like 6 ashebi plus the bride to attend to, and the wedding is just like a month away. And these people are not coming to sew just skirt and blouse. They are coming to make really Instagram styles, elaborate styles. So when do you start employing? When you have a lot of work that you know that you cannot deliver. You cannot deliver all by yourself. Now, traditional marriage is something that you cannot afford to disappoint anybody. You can't afford to disappoint them because they are going for a party. They have to participate in the party. So you don't expect them to wear mufti to the wedding just because you disappointed. So where you start to get to employ workers is when the workload has become too much to handle. You have a lot of customers, all of them are wanting to get their clothes. Immediately they give it to you. You have to start employing. Yes, I have people that work for me, though I'm not paying them right now because they are serving. I finished training them. So right now they are serving. So I'm using them as employees. So now when they go, I will have to employ people. So when you start employing people is when you have more work than you can handle as a single person. Okay. Thank you. That will be the end of this session. I hope I've done justice to this. Thank you. Mr. Anthony, over to you. Can you hear me? Are you there?
Yeah, I am here. That was
Okay.
a great one. Can you
Right.
hear me
Thank
clearly?
you. I can hear you, but it's not so clear. It's not loud enough.
Okay. Okay, but it's loud.
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. I said thank you very, very much for that one.
Yeah,
You did
you're welcome.
justice to it. You're still with us, so just to say a little about I didn't do a proper introduction at the beginning because I was looking at time and all. I hoped to do that at the end, but let me do it at this point. The person you see is she's not into fashion. You know, sometimes people say skills are for how for those that don't know anything, those that do not, those that are not intelligent, all those things. If someone says before, the people always had this mindset of skills as okay, Ebuka na ejolu. Ebuka is learning how to do mechanic um repairs. Chinedu is learning electrician work, and this person is learning this person is learning that. Me, I'm intelligent, I'm going to school. No be so.
At
Skills are
all.
for everybody. Skills are for everybody because give them 10 years. Let's see who will be riding the Benz and who will be building houses. That is just life for you. So skills actually pay off. Skills actually pay off. They are very, very much important. So back to Chioma. Chioma is not be hype. You see how beautiful she is.
Wow, okay. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So as I was saying, Chioma is Can you all hear me now? Sorry, I was having some network issues. Can you hear me now?
I can hear
Okay. So I was saying, Chioma is good at
you.
what she
Yes.
does. Chioma is good at what she does. She's the CEO RL Design. Follow her on Instagram. She's yeah. To add this for the end, this is information for the end. But does anyone have questions to ask? Ask. If you have questions to ask, please write them in the chat area so that someone can compile them, and then towards the end of the session to talk about them. So now we'll be going on a break. Just stay tuned. We're going on a break. That doesn't mean the class is ending. The class is still continues.
If you think of the most scary guy in your city, he's scary because he knows mobsters, he knows gangsters, he knows judges, he knows the police, he owns things, he has staff, he has assistants, he has shooters, he has a driver, he has bodyguards. There's no such thing as a man without a network. If you are alone, you will perish, you will be crushed, you will die.
Blah blah blah, or trying to juggle 3 chicks and all that shit. That's fucking work. That's another full-time job, man. Yeah. When you have like one person really there to support you and help you so that you can focus on the bigger task, you can't put a price on that. When I got married, my business grew 278% over 3 years. If you look at some of the most successful people in the world, they got one girl, dude.
Yeah.
They got one, and they got a solid girl. They don't have none of these little Tweety birds running around. They got a solid chick. And the reason they do that is because it creates such a stable place to operate. I know that I've got somebody that's creating a home life for me, a place to relax and rejuvenate, my life force. I don't have somebody arguing with me. I don't have somebody calling me, texting me.
If you're an intelligent person, you will try to do what you love most. But if you're a genius, you will do just what is needed.
Okay, we're back. Can you all hear me? We are
We
back.
can hear you.
Okay. So we'll be moving on to the second phase of. Okay, before that, does anyone have any questions? I didn't see anything in the chat. Does anyone have any questions to ask? If you have any questions, please unmute your mic and talk. Okay, let's assume there are no questions. So we'll be talking about the magic of branding. But before I start talking, I would like to share some videos on branding. Just 2 short clip videos.
Legumes from the earth, refined in metal machines, are raging inferno of coal and ash, forged and dipped in ancient potion to produce a formidable weapon, sending hunger to oblivion. Akara, golden ball. The purest of waters. There is cream de la cream, seeds born from deep within the ground that makes you go nuts. Infused with cubes of greatness. The taste, the crunch, the feeling. Gary, your #1 backup plan. Save.
Okay, I'm back. So I hope you all saw the video, the 2 videos I shared. Please indicate so that I can know if you all can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Please unmute your mic and talk if you can hear me so that I can know. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Please unmute your mic and talk if you can hear me. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
But
Thank you
barely.
for that.
Can you be more audible?
I'm actually very audible.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. Okay, so I was asking if you saw the video that was played just a couple of minutes ago.
No, I didn't.
Okay, let me share it again.
All right.
The purest of waters. There is cream de la cream, seeds born from deep within the ground that makes you go nuts. Infused with cubes of greatness. The taste, the crunch, the feeling. Gary, your number one backup plan. Save legumes from the earth, refined in metal machines, are raging inferno of coal and ash, forged and dipped in ancient potion to produce a formidable weapon, sending hunger to oblivion. Akara, golden ball.
Okay. Were you able to see the videos?
Sure, sure. I was.
Okay. That video is just, it just summarizes branding
Mm.
in general. What is branding? What is branding? Most of us have been hearing this word branding. Branding is simply the process of creating a strong positive perception of a company or a business, its products and services to the customer's mind by combining elements such as logos, designs, colors, mission statements, and all of that. So branding, what does branding enable you to do? If you paid attention to the videos, you see that that's just normal Gary and normal Akara. There's nothing special. There was no magic ingredient added to it. There was no it wasn't processed in heaven. It's the same Gary and Akara. But if I, as a business owner, portray that Gary and Akara using that same technique that was used in that advert, and I tell you that this Gary and Akara is to be sold for 50,000 naira per serving, you will buy it, trust me. And then if I portray Akara and Gari just as a commoner's food as we see it, maybe sell it by the roadside, 1 cup, tie it inside Santana, put your Akara inside newspapers, I won't get as much sale. People will say, no be Akara and Gari wey we dey chop since. So branding has this effect, this magic effect. I call it a magic effect because it has the power to transform your business from this to this. That is how branding does. It can take your business from point A to point Z in just a short period of time. So, what does branding mean? I've talked about what branding means. There's what is called branding in marketing. Branding in marketing. Branding in marketing in relation to the business. Branding in marketing, just like I said earlier, is just process of portraying your brand, the process of creating a brand presence. We all know popular brands, Coca-Cola, Mercedes-Benz, Audi, Ferrari, you know all those popular brands that even if one of your eyes is injured and you are seeing with only one eye, you'll still be able to identify them. So in marketing, in brand marketing, or in branding in marketing, you employ this strategy of making your brand stand out in every possible way through your choice of theme, through your choice of colors, through your designs, through the feel and look of your brand, so that anywhere your brand appears, people will be able to know, okay, this is this. Okay, I have with me a carton of an MTN router. Once you see this, you already know this is MTN. You see their logo and you see this yellow color, you already know it is MTN. If I were to bring that of Glow, you also be able to distinguish that, okay, this is Glow router. If I bring that of Airtel, you'll be able to distinguish that of Airtel. Reason, they chose their colors very wisely. while MTN uses yellow, Glo uses green, lemon green, and Airtel uses red. So colors, logos, designs, themes in general help a help build a brand's appearance. Help build a brand appearance. So when I mean your brand should be very, very noticeable. You know this thing when probably you're at home and you hear your dad's car, your dad horns outside the gate, or you hear his voice. Even if you are asleep, even if you are dreaming, you don't need any Jupiter to tell you that this is your dad or this is the sound of your dad's car, because you already know that this is the tune of your dad's, or the tone of your dad's voice. You already know that this is how your dad's car sounds. So when someone tries to imitate that, you know that this is not the original. But when you hear your dad's voice, you know, okay, yes, this is my dad's voice. This is the sound of his car. So you're able to distinguish because you already know him. So that is the same way it is with branding. You should create a unique brand that people should be able to distinguish your brand without even paying attention, without much effort. They should be able to distinguish your brand. So let's look at some brands. I mentioned the Mercedes, Audi, Peugeot, Toyota. When you see the logos of this brand, let's say you see a Benz saloon car on the road, you don't need anyone to tell you, okay, this is a Mercedes. You already know that this is a Mercedes Benz. When you see an Audi, you already know, okay, this is an Audi. You can't see a Toyota and call it an Audi. You can't see a Ford and call it a Toyota. They are all different. Though their designs might seem similar, but you already know that this is this. So when building a brand, you should pay very much attention to your brand appearance. Your brand appearance. And your brand appearance borders about your logo, your designs, the colors you use, and the feel and look of your brand. So in branding, there's what is called brand perception. Brand perception. Brand perception encompasses how your customers, or how people in general, not just your customers, how everybody sees your brand. Let me use this word, how the world sees your brand, or those who know your brand, how they see your brand. So brand perception is just similar to what we call what we call first perception of people. Let's say I meet someone today, and this is the first time I'm meeting the person. How does the person portray the person's self? What can I say about this person at the very first instance of seeing this person or of meeting this person? So it goes the same way in branding. How do people perceive your brand? How do they see your brand? What do they say about your brand? Just like Chioma said, because she already has a good brand that has a good presence in Oka. When she has students, her students can confidently say, okay, my madam can sew this. Because her brand already has a strong presence, and her brand has built this loyalty over time. So you don't need someone to come and say, okay, probably if she wasn't trustworthy, her students will say, I no fit tell person about this my madam, because I no sure say she go deliver, that kind of thing. So but when people perceive your brand, to be reliable, to be sustainable, to be trustworthy, then they can trust your brand. So brand perception all borders around all that, how people see not just your customers, how people see your brand, what they think about your brand, whether they can do business with you, whether they can patronize you, whether they can order what you sell, whether they can order your products, whether they can ask for your services. So, and sometimes we hear this talk about branding, online branding and offline branding. When I mean online branding is branding, let's say you have a website, you have social media channels, and you join different platforms online. The perception of your brand should not be any much different from how it is in reality. Let me give an example. Let's say you sell clothes, you have an Instagram page, and you also have a physical store. So probably on your Instagram page, you have this thing all set up. It's looking nice. You have a lot of followers. Let's say you have 5,000 and more followers. And then your physical store, you also have a physical store. So, but let's say on your Instagram handle now, you give people top-notch services, top-notch customer services. Like if someone types now, I want to order this palazzo dress, the person is getting immediate attention. But when the person comes to your store, you are treating this person as, I don't think this person can afford to buy this palazzo. I've looked at the person from up to down. Your branding or your brand perception should not be different. Let's say on Instagram you give people more attention, or physically you don't give people attention, or you judge them by their looks, or physically you give your store attention, but on Instagram it's not active, but you claim that you have a store and it's on Instagram. So in brand perception, you should try as much as possible to marry both your online branding and your offline branding, because both of them are very much important. Both of them speak about your business. How people perceive your business online should be the same as how they perceive it offline. So some of you ask, why is branding important? Branding is really, really important. It's really important because it has a very huge impact on your business. It gives your business a competitive advantage. Allows your business okay, let me use this instance. If I come out wearing bedroom slippers and probably a singlet and shorts, and I stand by the roadside and I tell you, I help businesses upskill. I help create designs for businesses. You look at me and say, this madman, shift for road, make I pass. But let's say I put on a suit, I put on Oxford shoes, I put on a tie, and I'm well dressed, and I come to you and tell you, I help create designs for businesses, and I help businesses upskill. You'll be like, oh wow, please tell me more about it. You see, now that is all about packaging, what we call packaging. So branding, just when someone tells you about branding, just have this word in your subconscious: packaging. Branding is all about packaging. if, as you saw in that the two videos I showed, if I should produce Gary now and package it, let's say put it in foils like this and bring to you, and say for 100 gram, or no, for let's say a cup of Gary that is sold in shops for between 60 to 100 naira depending on your location, and I package it well and bring it to you and tell you that this Gary is sold for 200 naira, that is double the price, you're going to buy it because you'll be like, oh, it looks attractive. So in brand perception, in branding generally, what people look at is how attractive your brand is. That is the first thing that attracts people to your brand. How attractive, the look and feel of your brand. So let's say you have a very good product. You know how to, let me use food now. You are a very good cook, you're a chef, but then you have a kitchen where people can come to eat, but the front of your kitchen, your physical kitchen, is nothing to write home about. Nobody will come there because why should someone come to eat there? But then when you go to places like Domino's Pizza, you go to places like Cold Stone Creamery, the front of the building is built in such a way that from outside you're already desiring to be inside that building because the front is attractive. So that is just what branding does. Branding gives you this edge. It helps you to, it helps people to see your value for what it really is. So it gives you this edge, this competitive advantage over your rivals, your business competition. It helps you acquire and retain customers at lower costs. So when you carefully construct your brand through stories, your brand story, I know I'm using a lot of technical words. So sorry, but because of how the short notice of the conference, I just had to make do with trying to talk about everything just this once. So carefully constructing your brand stories, that is how you market yourself. MTN will tell you yellow everywhere you go. That is their brand story. Every brand has its own brand story. So it's for you to carefully construct yours to know, okay, you can say Chukwuemeka Designs, for instance, designing the world. Yes, that's designing the world. It will bring in people's mind, what about the world is this person designing? So when you pay attention to subtle things in your branding, like your brand stories, your relationships, yes, I'll still come to relationships later, your marketing strategies, your visual assets, and the rest of it, you give yourself the opportunity to reshape your customers' expectation and create a unique brand that has a very strong presence. Let's take, for instance, I just like I said earlier, if I think I'll keep on using this Gary and Akara. If you sell Gary and you sell it in Santana leather, 1 cup in Santana leather, nobody will buy that Gary for more than 100 naira. Nobody will buy it for, because the price of a cup of Gary is between 60 to 100 naira depending on your location. But then let's say you package it in something like this. I know this is, you package it in something like this, people will come to say, okay, first of all, it's attractive. Then when you add more value to it, let's say you make it all in one combination, you add your granules, you add your your sugar, you add milk and whatever, still to the same package, people will be like, oh, instead of stressing myself going to buy granules separately, going to buy sugar separately, going to buy milk separately, since it's all in one package, let me just get this. So when you add value to your product, you are indirectly branding. Yes, when you add value to your product. So um sorry for that. Okay, so in branding relationships, just like I said, relationships are, life is all about relationships. Life is all about relationships. Quote me anywhere. When you build strong, sustainable relationships, people can vouch for you. I know while I was sending the flyers for this event, I sent it to someone, one of my friends. So she didn't even go through it. She didn't even bother to read it. She just shared it immediately. So later on, I was telling her I have this event that I'm hosting, and she was like, "No, I don't." Oh, really? You have an event? So I was like, yes, I've been sending you flyers. Didn't you read it? She said no, that she didn't read it. I said, well, you posted what you did not read. She said, oh, that she didn't need to read it because it is me that shared it to her. So I was like, oh wow. So that's to show you um how credible people hold, how strong your relationships is, or how credible you are as a person. Your integrity as a person and as a brand has a long way to go to help build a strong brand for you. So if you are someone that people do not trust, they cannot do business with you. But using this flyer as an instance, she didn't even need to read through it. She already know, okay, if it's coming from CJ, it's good to go. I don't even need to read it. So people should be able to trust you, trust your brand, that if I say this pen, this green pen is is to be sold for 200 naira for one, they don't need to question to share, okay, what is the quality? Is it of a good quality? Is it of a high value? Or is it just a regular pen? Because you said this pen is sold for this particular, because it is from you, they can trust you and say, okay, yes, we will buy this for 200 naira. So in building relationships also helps in branding. That your branding, your marketing strategies, how you maintain your business relationship has a long way to helping or influencing your brand. Your relationships, your business relationships can either make or mar your business. I was in Abuja some months ago. I think that was January. Yes, either January or December. I can't remember. But I went to this supermarket to get some things. So when I walked in the supermarket, it was all attractive. It looked nice. So I walked in, moved to the reception, the cashier's desk, to ask, okay, do you have so 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 and so? Do you have so 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 and so? And they said yes, over there. So I just went over there to get it. So when I got it, I came back to the desk. I was like, okay, I'm looking for this particular thing. I didn't see it. Where can I find it? They said, okay, we don't have this. But then in that interaction, I got to see how they treated customers, how I was treated. I wasn't treated special. I wasn't treated, I wasn't given, okay, I wasn't given a nice treatment. Let me leave out being treated special. I wasn't given a nice treatment. And there and then in my front, I saw them shouting on a customer, someone that just came to buy something. Like they were just neglecting her as if, and she came to buy something worth, I think, over 5,000 naira in that supermarket. So I was now thinking, these people don't know that business goes beyond what you sell to how you treat your customers. So immediately I left. I told myself I was not going to come to this supermarket for any reason to buy anything again. So that was because they did not give me, they didn't create a nice perception of their supermarket in my head, and that was my first encounter with them. So in branding, you have to work on your relationships, on your marketing strategy, to make sure that it includes good customer relationship, customer satisfaction. That's one of the key things of my brand, Alpha Original. I try to give my customer or my client the best. So let's say I am to create a design, and I create a design for my client. I'll still need to know, okay, is this okay for you? Do you like this yellow? Do you like this red? Do you like this blue? Do you like this green? I get to get feedback from my customer, from my clients and my customers, so that I will know how better to serve them well, since my business is borders around customer satisfaction. So in branding, you have to also pay attention to customer satisfaction. How do you treat customers? So again, one other key thing in branding is brand relatability. Can people relate to your brand? Do people have anything to anything personal that they can say, okay, I like this because of this? Let me use MTN again. Not like I'm marketing for them, but I use MTN, so let me use them again. MTN has this everywhere you go. So they put this in your mind that they are with you, just like the oxygen you breathe in. They are with you everywhere you go. So because of that positive perception they have created, you are able to trust them. You're able to say, okay, anywhere I'm going, since I have MTN SIM, I know there will be network there. So when your brand is relatable, when your brand story, when people can relate to your brand story, then they will have more chances. You have more chances of gaining their trust. But when your brand story is not something people can relate to, then you won't be able to gain people's trust. Then to build a strong brand, there are some keys that I will share. The first is understanding your customers and your target audience. What does your customer want? What is it that when you give it to your customer will come again and bring someone to you? I have this customer. She has been a regular customer since, I think, June 2022, June last year. And almost most of all the design work she does comes from me. So she's trusted me so much that anywhere she is, because she knows I'm reachable, she knows that I deliver fast, she knows that if she says she wants this design this night, or if she wants this design in 2 hours time, I will deliver. She can trust me, and she knows that she knows that if she calls me, she's going to be able to reach me. So I've understood what she wants. I've understood how to react to her. I've understood how to follow her as a customer, as a unique customer. So it's very important in branding, in business in general, to understand your customers, to understand what they want, and to know how best to serve them. Then define your brand persona. Define your brand persona. Your brand persona is just your brand's personality. So just like I've been using analogies, your business personality can be related to your personality as a person. How do people see you? How do people see your brand? So how do people perceive your brand? Do people see your brand and they're all hateful? This brand way no make sense. This brand that doesn't deliver. This brand that will say they will do they'll give you a professional service and then they give you quack services. How do people see your brand? So your brand persona is very important in your branding journey, in your branding strategy. Transparency, yes, transparency is one other thing. Sometimes in business, many people think it's all about making profit. Business is not just all about making profit, it's more about creating sustainable relationships, building sustainable relationships, and impacting people. That is business for you. Business is more about impacting people through meaningful relationships. That is just the summary of business. Yes, in the end, you get to get profit from it. Yes, I pay you for this, I pay you for this. So, but if people do not see, if people cannot trust your brand, if people don't consider you as a person or your brand transparent enough, they can't do business with you. So in branding, you have to consider transparency. Do you keep your brand promise? Do you promise you will do A and then you do Z? Do you promise you will create something that is valuable, something that is of high quality, and then you deliver something of low quality? So when you, on your branding journey, on your business journey, these are things people look at. How credible is this brand? How credible is this person? How credible is, how transparent can they be able to trust you? If they pay for goods or if they pay for your services, will you deliver or will you run away with the money? So that is one very important factor in branding. Brand transparency, or transparency in brand promise. Then another key factor, another key thing in building a strong brand is perfecting your virtual and physical assets. Some of us, just like I said earlier, have active online sites, but physically their store is nothing to write home about. Their store doesn't have a good feel. It doesn't represent their brand enough. Even if people order from your online store, if your physical store, if probably they come to your physical store, they might say, no, this brand on Instagram is all looking like a top-notch brand, but physically it has nothing to show for it. So they will not trust you. But when you marry both your physical and your virtual assets to be able to tell your brand story, to communicate your brand effectively, then people will get to trust you. So you should work on creating a perfect visual and physical representation of your business. Research says also that a memorable signature or custom color will increase the chance of customers recognizing your brand by 80%. So let me give an example. We all drink Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola has just three colors that they use in their designs. They use white, they use red, and they use black. So it's very easy to know this is Coca-Cola. Even if you are 10 meters away, you already know, oh, this is Coke. The same with MTN. MTN uses black, uses white, and uses yellow. So you already know, okay, this is this brand. Once you see this, even if it is far away, you already know, okay, this might be an MTN product or an MTN device. So your brand should be able to you should be able to use the right colors, the right fonts, the right objects or elements in your branding, and be consistent in it, so that you will be able, so that people will have it will be easy for people to recognize your brand, because that is one very important thing in branding. I've talked about um, brand appearance. So recognition of brand is also related to, also falls under brand appearance. Can people distinguish your brand? If I cannot see a Nike sneaker and say it's a Reebok sneaker. I cannot see a Reebok sneaker and say it is an Adidas, because they are entirely different. From their logos, from their designs, you can know that this is this. Then another very key important thing in building a strong brand is customer experience. I've talked about this, that businesses is not just all about making profit, but it's all about creating impact through meaningful relationships, influencing people. Can people trust you as a person? Can people say, okay, sometimes when you have a good brand, let's say, okay, let me use Chioma for instance. Chioma has a fashion design business. So Chioma's fashion design business is not the only design business in Oka. It's not the only design business in Nigeria. But people, not just in Oka, from Lagos, from Abuja, and all around, patronize Chioma. Why? Why do they patronize Chioma? Because there is something she does differently. So in your branding, you should try to have a unique selling point, something that your customers can say, okay, this is where Chioma is different from the rest. This is where RL Designs is different from the rest. So in refining your customer experience, you should get to aim to get better at your customer experience, how your customers perceive your brand over time, that you don't remain the same way you were 2 years ago this year. You don't remain the same way you are this year 2 years from now. You keep on refining yourself. So in business, or in branding, there's some other thing about having the right team, having the right team, having the right team, TEAM, having the right team, or having the right group of people around you. You might have a very good business, a very good brand, a strong one, but you don't have the right people working for you. You don't have the right people promoting, because both your clients and your clients indirectly work for you, and as well your staff are also or your workers are also part of your brand. So if your worker, or if a client comes to patronize, or comes to you as a brand, comes to your business to get a service or a product, and your worker or one of your workers treats the person in a manner that is not nice, the person will give that conclusion that this is how this brand is. So you should work on training, employing the right team and training them not just on how to sell your products and service, but also how to treat customers. I've been mentioning this thing: customer experience, business brand perception, business relationship. That's to show you that business is all about relationships. There are people that once you make them happy, you keep on seeing them. There are people that once they know that you are trustworthy, you keep on seeing them. There are people that once they know that what you give them is quality, you keep on seeing them. There are people that they know that if they buy something from you and it has a fault, that you will give them a listening ear. Probably you help them fix it, or you will help you give them a new one. That's warranty now, warranty and guarantee of products. People tend to trust businesses that give warranty or that give a guarantee on their product and their services. So everything in business is all about centered about relationships, perception, credibility, and impact. So in Nigeria now, with the situation of things, businesses always like to maximize profit. But I tell you that if your first instinct in business is just to maximize profit, no matter how, you see, if I buy this sachet of water, for instance, I'm going to sell it 15 naira. Let's say you buy it at the cost of production is 5 naira. You say you sell it for 15 naira, while the value of this sachet water is nothing more than 10 naira. But then you increase, you multiply the value to a very high level that people get to buy it more than they should have bought it. Yes, for a period of time you'll be making sales, but when people come to find out that, okay, this product, this service that this person is selling for so amount of money, I can get it from Mr. B at even lesser and even better quality. So business is not just all about making profit. Making profit, yes, is the summit of the focal point, or the apex of business. You create a business to make profit, yes. But before you can be able to make profit and be consistent, you'll be able to sustain your profit, you have to be people should be able to trust you, to know, okay, that you are credible, you give quality products, your designs, your services are top notch, and people can trust you basically. So I know in Nigeria, with the situation of things, everybody going into business is just going into business to maximize profits, to cash out real big. Yes. So most times when you have events, or you are doing organizing a seminar or something, people always have this perception of, let's go in and cash in real quick. There's no way you can cash in real quick if you are doing something legitimately. It's going to build on over time, and that will depend on the quality of the relationship you build with your customers. That will depend on the level of impact and influence you have in the lives of your customers and clients. So there's one other key thing in building a strong business: ability to give back. Remember to give back. I call it remember to give back. Sometimes in business, especially in this part of the world, most businesses do not know the power of giving discounts. They don't know the power of promos and all those things. But let's say now, when you go outside Nigeria, you hear of different brands, maybe Apple, Nokia, and the rest. or maybe just a supermarket, you hear of Christmas sales, you hear of Easter sales, you hear of, let's not go far, let's talk about Jumia. Jumia has Black Friday that they organize during Easter and in November. So during periods like that, they get to give discounts on most of their products. So because of that, they get to gain more customers over time because people know, okay, I can buy this at Jumia, I can buy this at Jumia. So they are not considering, okay, I bought this for $11 and I have to make 50% gain. So I have to sell it at $17.5. They are not always thinking about $16.5. As a business, you should, as you always think about making profit as a brand, you should also know that there is power in giving back. When you give back, people get to trust you more. People get to align more with you. It's more like you connect with them in their heart. It's just like you go into a store to buy something for Christmas and they say, okay, today we are giving free sales for all products below $50 or for all products below 500 naira. We are giving free sales from 10 a.m. to 12 noon today. If you walk into our store and pick anything not more than 500 naira, you will get it for free. So this giving back to the society, giving back to your customers has a long way to influence your brand, has a long way to influence your business, and it will help build a strong, sustainable relationship with your clients that even over time, they will come to you not just because you offer this product or you offer this service, but because you touched them, you influenced them, you created an impact in their lives. So then the last but not the least is what I call brand sustainability. Brand sustainability. In creating a strong brand, you have to work on your sustainability. How sustainable is your business? Or will you just make profit and after 6 months your business crumbles? How sustainable is your business? How sustainable is your brand? So there are key things in that key factors that affect brand sustainability. And these factors include brand promise, brand positioning, and brand performance. Just like Choma said earlier, you cannot have a business located in let's say you have a fashion design business located in a rural area. You will not get as much clients or customers buying or requesting for exquisite designs from you as you will get if you were to be in a city or in an urban area. So business or brand positioning has plays a key role in determining how sustainable your business will be. Brand promise. Do you meet your brand promise? Do you promise your customers quality designs and then you give them below average designs or below average products and services? Do you promise that your product is durable and can last for 5 years when it's not able to last for 5 months? So all these things will help determine how sustainable your brand will be over in the long haul. Because when, let's say, Mr. A comes to buy, let's say you sell laptops, for instance, and Mr. A comes and you say, yes, these laptops are quality laptops. They are imported from Germany, and they can stay from, you can use them for as long as 5 years without them having any issue. And then the person buys that laptop and goes home, and after 1 week the battery starts having issues, or the keyboard starts um, develops issues. People will say, I can't recommend someone to trust this laptop should last for 5 years without developing any fault, but I just use it for a week and the keyboard is no longer functional. So your brand promise is one other thing, that is one other factor that is very much paramount, very much important to how sustainable your brand is. And then brand performance. How does your brand perform over time? Brand performance borders around your sales, whether you're able to make sales, your conversion, how you're able to convert uh, um, referrals or people that meet you to buy from you or to patronize your business. It also borders around business penetration. How well known is your business in your locality? How well known is your business online? Let's say on Instagram or on any other platform. How well known is your business? So business performance, which borders around business penetration, the marketing strategy, and all of that, also influences how sustainable your business or your brand is going to be. So, in building a sustainable brand, just in a recap, I talked about your appearance, your brand appearance, the look and feel of your brand appearance, then moved over to talking about customer experience and your brand perception. How do people perceive your brand? What do your clients, your customers, people in general, even people that have not patronized you, what can they say about your brand? Then I moved over to things you could do to build a strong brand. Things you could do to build a strong brand. Knowing what your customer wants, your knowing, understanding your target audience, your target market, your target customers, understanding what their needs are, knowing how to connect better with them through building good customer experience, customer relationships, business to customer relationships, and all of that. So on a brand, in brand sustainability, the process of creating and maintaining an identity of a brand that reflects special added value in an evolving society. So your brand, for your brand to be so sustainable, it doesn't just border around the quality of what you produce. It doesn't border around how very good your customer uh, service or your customer experience is. It doesn't just border around how well penetrated your business is into the market. It also talks about your ability to evolve, your brand's ability to evolve over time. That 5 years from now, will you still be, will you have moved on with the trend of things? Would you have updated your technology and all? Let's take for instance, before now, let me use your Nokia phones now. Nokia, they just recently, before, let's say in the early 2000s, Nokia was just producing button phones, just normal phones. They didn't have smartphones. They didn't have sophisticated phones. They just had simple button phones and all. Then, but at that time, early 2000s, BlackBerry was already producing touch screen phones. So Nokia at some point went off market because they were not able to meet up to the fast evolving trend. They were not able to meet up to the needs of people that are evolving with technology. So what happened? They went out of business for a while. So not until they came back and redesigned and said, okay, let us remake this. Let us produce smartphones. Now Nokia is back into the market. Let me give another example. The Mercedes Benz that you see now. In the early 2000s, Mercedes was a laughing stock. If you own the Mercedes, people will be laughing at you, especially this Mercedes C230 and Mercedes Mercedes that is popularly called Mercedes V-Boot. You all know it, Mercedes C230 of that year. That period, if you owned a Mercedes, you were a laughing stock to people because people will be like, what's this man driving? But then Mercedes came back, sat down, and rebranded. They said, okay, how can we create better designs, car designs? How can we meet people's demands in this fast evolving world of technology? And they went back and created more designs. Now, Mercedes is everywhere. So that's to show you that for you to have a strong brand, you have to focus on business sustainability, your brand sustainability. How sustainable is your brand? Can your brand last the test of time? Can your brand still stay till the next 15 years? In the next 15 years, will the generation then be able to utilize your brand? Will they be able to buy your products? Will they be able to buy your services or pay for your services? So in branding is a long journey. It's not a destination. You start and you keep on evolving and evolving and evolving and evolving and rebranding. So, but to come to a conclusion in building a strong brand, I'll just tell you three key things. Know your customer. Know your customer. Know your target audience. Understand your customer. 2, pay attention to your brand appearance. How does your brand appear? How do people perceive your brand? How easy is it for people to identify your brand? And then the third thing, focus on building relationships, on creating impact, on adding value to people's lives, not just on making profit. And in adding value to people's life, in influencing people, you always make profit with that. So with that, I come to the end of my talk on the magic of branding. So hope you had a wonderful section. Does anyone have a question? If you have a question, please unmute and ask your questions. Does anyone have a question?
Sure, I do.
Okay, please feel free to ask.
Thank you for the beautiful presentation. But I misunderstood something you said. I don't know whether I got it wrong or it didn't make sense to me.
Okay,
You
what
talked
is
about
that?
how you package your business online on social media, and
Yes.
then how it is in reality that they should be in conformity. But
Yes.
my question goes this way: how does it translate to deceit if you just have if you don't have much money to put up your place physically to the standard, but you have the money to do it online, and you have online customers. Probably you have more online customers than people that actually come to your shop. How would someone come to your place of business, physical place of business, and then be disappointed or feel deceived or betrayed, or would not want to trust you just because the person saw less of what he or she saw on your social media? I just don't understand, because these things happen. People don't have money to put their place in order, but online, it's easier. It's very much easier to do that online. So I'm asking, how does it translate to deceit, or how will it make someone not to trust you? I don't understand. Thank you.
Okay. There are key things I mentioned in creating a strong brand. I talked about transparency, brand transparency. I talked about brand appearance. Let's take, for instance, you have an Instagram, um, you have an Instagram account where your store is on Instagram, and then you tell people that you offer so and so services. You you sell so and so products, which is good. But then coming to your physical store, maybe when they come, your your store is empty, or you don't have the products you said you sell. Or let's say your store is untidy. Let's just start from the basics. Your store is not clean, it's unkempt, it's dirty. Do you think someone, or let's say you have a restaurant, for instance, and on Instagram everything is all rosy, there are nice pictures of your of food that you sell, and then someone comes to your physical, your kitchen, your physical kitchen to eat, and then there are flies all around. Do you think someone wants to patronize you? So in marrying the physical and the virtual presence of your business, it's very much important. I'm not trying to say that you should try to be who you are not, but let people be able to see that your how you portray your store, or how you portray your business online, is not far much different from how it is in reality. Do you get? Do you get?
Yes, I get you. I get what you're saying.
Okay, did I clarify you?
Sure, you did. Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone have any other questions? Um, Choma, are you there? Hello, Choma, are you there? Choma, can you hear me? Okay, just to round up, the next event will be next week, Monday, 7:30 p.m. That will be talking about how to reskill, how to move into the tech space. Most of us have been hearing about tech up and down, tech this, tech that. So, tech bros, tech six. You want to become a tech bro, you want to become a tech six. You can easily learn on how you will become that, how to become one, what is needed. You get to learn that from the next conference. And then secondly, we're talking about freelancing. Freelancing. Most of us have high-end skills that are in high demand, high-paid skills, but then we are underpaid because we don't know how to sell our skills globally or to the international space. So in the next event, we'll be talking about how to um, become a freelancer, how to freelance, which skills can be freelanced, how to get clients, how to earn, and lots of it. So come prepared, set your reminders, your set reminders in your calendars to remind you so that on that day you will be present and you will gain all the knowledge that will be shared. Then just to appreciate the collaborators of this event, one's a Chioma of RL Designs. You can follow her on Instagram at RL underscore fashion underscore designs. So thank you all for joining this event. I hope you all gained a lot. Hope you will apply the knowledge you gained in your businesses. Hope you will skill up and start up. So until final words. My final words to you is this. I know in the journey of creating successful businesses, one thing always holds us back. That is fear. So my final words to you is don't let fear hold you back. Don't be afraid to try. Don't be afraid to fail. Failure is the first step in learning. When you fail, you get to find out better ways of accomplishing a task, better ways of doing a particular thing. Don't be afraid to risk. Don't be afraid to take risks, calculated risk that will help you learn, become a better individual, build a better business. Don't be afraid to soar high. Don't be afraid to dream big. And then relationships are very, very much important in life in general, as they are very, very much important in business. Relationships have the ability to make or mar you as an individual or your business. So mind your relationships very well and make sure that in everything you do, in all your activities, that you focus on creating impact, on adding value to people's life. And I assure you that the money will always come chasing after you. So don't chase after money, allow the money to chase after you. So till next week, I remain your humble host, Anthony Ebo, and hope to see you same time. Hope to see you on Monday next week, same channel, 7:30 p.m. West African time. So thank you for being part of this program. Thank you, thank you, thank you.